Hi all, my name is Raj from RCE. So we are going to make a gaming PC which is based on i5 ninth generation. You can see a processor, ninth generation i5, SATA hard disk of 2 TB, MSI B365M Pro VDH motherboard, 32 GB RAM, 16 GB 2 chips, wireless TP-Link card, SMPS supply, which is more essential when we build it. What kind of SMPS supply you need on what type of PC, that is also an important part which we will explain it. GPU GT 710 2 GB DDR5. You can use 3 GB, 4 GB or 8 GB GPU, also known as graphics card. Depends on what quality of gaming you want to play and how much time you want to play. We are making a kind of standard PC, and then keyboard, mouse, headphones for gaming. So we're going to unbox each and everything. We also require a HDMI cable to connect monitor with PC. So here are all the parts which is essential to build any PC other than the cabinet. Cabinet you can pick and choose as per you want. We suggest go for ATX medium size cabinet, which is available in many of the places online market, or you can buy nearby. But when you choose SMPS power supply, take care what are you buying, because there are different kind of supplies for different kind of motherboard and CPUs, which is very essential part when you build a PC. Other than that, there are two key things which you need to take care of when you choose components. Essential parts are what is the FSB speed of three main components: motherboard, RAM and processor. Say your processor works on 4100 MHz speed, your RAM works on 2400 MHz speed, your board supports up till 24 or 2600 MHz speed. So while processing the data, all three devices has to work simultaneously along with the hard disk speed. So choose optimum devices rather than the costlier devices while choosing the PC. Suppose I can take an example. My motherboard supports 2400 MHz speed. It is wise to choose memory, or in terms of RAM, 2400 MHz speed rather than 3000 MHz speed. It may or may not support. Even if it supports, it works well below its capacity and works only 2400 MHz speed. Same goes for processor. So the lowest megahertz speed of all three components, it takes into effect. So choose wisely what are you buying to. We will make different combination and give you the links in our description box. You can pick and choose which one is the best for you as per your budget. Another key important thing about supply. These connectors play a vital role when you purchase, along with a power supply wattage. This is 450 watt. May or may not suffice my PC, but yes, we can work on. Okay, let us unbox each and every device one by one, and I will try to explain as much as possible. It may take little time when I am explaining, so that you understand why I was doing that. So along with the board, you will get a CD, user manual, cables, gaming sticker. Okay, so let us explain little about motherboard. When you take the motherboard with the ports direction, you will see a lot of different ports. This is for old keyboard and mouse. VGA, two different kind of VGAs. HDMI, this is also a display, so all three are for display. This is RJ45 for internet wire. This is USB 2.0 ports. This is USB 3.1s. So you have 4 USB ports. These are also USBs. This is 3.1 USB-C type, and this is USB, and these are for audio control. Now let us see the board from top to bottom. The first and foremost important thing is the processor. This place you connect the processor after taking this out upside. I'll do that after explaining that. This is a power supply for processor. 8-port power supply required for the processor. Sometime your SMPS supply only have 4 pins, 12 volt and ground. Some has 8 pins. 4 pin also supports here, but when you try to do overclocking during the gameplay, motherboard reboots or power supply fails. Next important thing, CPU fan. Here, whatever heatsink CPU you have, you need to connect it here. These are 4 RAM slots. In these RAM slots, you can connect 64 GBs RAM. There is a specific order to connect RAM based on how many chips you have. If you have 1 chip, you need to connect on port 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect on the second, because this is the boot RAM, first RAM. If you have 2 chips, one connect on port 2, other one connect on port 4. If you have 3, 2, 4, 1, and if you have 4 chips, 2, 4, 1, 3. So this is the way you connect the chips. This is 24 pins power supply for board. Some SMPS has only 20 pins, some has 24 pins, some has joint 20 plus 4 pins. So make sure that your SMPS supports 24 pin. These are SATA connectors for hard disk. This is JFP1. This is for your cabinet switch on, switch off, resets, LEDs off, switch on, switch off. Here USB 1 and USB 2, 9 pins. This is for cabinet USB, where you have front side 2 external ports of USBs other than these. Then you can use these ports. And then you have audio ports. This is for graphics card, which is also called GPU. PSI 1, PSI 2, PSI 3. Here you can connect GPU. Here any other small PCI cards. This is for SSD. You can connect SSD hard drive and pin it here. I mean, screw it here. So this is the way your motherboard would be. Most of the motherboards has the same configurations. Ports may be here and there. Now next important part is that let us unbox CPU. This is i5-9400F CPU, which means that it needs an external graphics card. When F keyword is there, it needs an external card. It's a 2.9 gig processing speed, Intel Core i5. And this is CPU, heatsink and fan. User manual. If you see CPU, there is one side corner which is marked. All three are separate and this corner has rectangle mark, and the same marking would be on the board also. So when you connect, you should be connecting at the right direction rather than wrong direction. If you try to fix CPU in any other direction, it does not go. It only goes into this direction. And then you need to close this cover. Now, if you see that this pin and CPU is fixed, this cover came out automatically. Now next is that fan. So now CPU is connected. So one RAM we have connected. If we need to connect another RAM, we need to connect it on port 4. So as of now, I connected only 116 GB RAM for testing purpose. After that, we will connect GPU card. This is GPU card box as we discussed. This is 2 GB GPU card. Front side DBI VGA port, same available in the motherboard also, HDMI and VGA. Need to connect PCI 1 slot. So if your processor supports onboard graphics, then this GPU card is not required, which is below 8th generation processors. Probably 4th or 5th generation processor itself has the graphics card inbuilt, which you can use it. Then your motherboard VGA port, HDMI port works. But 8th and 9th generation motherboards has both kind of options. Either you buy along with GPU, I mean along with graphics, or without graphics. There is a cost difference also, and external GPU gives a better control in terms of what kind of GPU you want to put. 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, it is up to you. This is our LAN card, which goes into PCI 2 slots or PCI 3 slots on the board. Which we will connect later on once power supply is done. Now, most important thing, as we discussed about SMPS. As we had discussed, 24-pin power cable. This is 20 plus 4 actually. If you remove 20 is 1 and then 4 port, that is detachable. Let me show you. Most of the new power supplies has 20 plus 4, 24. Then lot of other connectors. This is for hard disk, SATA, and then power supply. This is what I was talking about, CPU power supply. This SMPS has only 4 port, which is 2 ground, and above 2 is 12 volt. So it can supply the power to processor, but if you try to overclock it, processor, your PC can reboot and power supply can also burn down. So these are the 2 side effects of using 4-port power supply. I will show you 8-port power supply also on the same.